Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Real quick here before I get to questions, if you enjoyed today's video or if you enjoy NoDQ&A video in general, please feel free to support the videos and the website by grabbing an official NoDQ&A video t-shirt, which I'm wearing right now, on ProWrestlingTees.com. Search for NoDQ, and there are other designs for NoDQ.com on there as well. With that out of the way, let's get to your questions from spring.me/Aaron Rift. First one today comes from Ben Jones 31945. Hey Aaron, do you think Brock Lesnar will be champion again, but this time make Kevin Owens the one to beat the Beast? The reason for Kevin to be the one is because people like him. Please answer in video. Well, the fact is, people like a lot of wrestlers in WWE. There are a lot of popular superstars. Just because you're popular doesn't mean you should be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar. Now, when it comes to Kevin Owens, he could certainly be considered credible enough down the line to beat Brock Lesnar if he continues to go in the direction he's going in and WWE continues to build him up and book him as a monster. Then one could make an argument for him being the guy to beat Brock Lesnar. What I said months ago is when Brock Lesnar finally does end up being defeated, it should be to somebody who's going to be the long-term future of the company. That would be the best way to utilize not only Brock Lesnar by having him put over the future superstar, but also it will help establish a new superstar and give him credibility as a top guy. I definitely see Brock Lesnar getting the title again at some point. Now that he is with WWE for the long haul and he signed a new contract, I think it's inevitable that he'll be champion again. And I felt that his title reign went well. It could have been better. He could have been around more often. But at the same time, him being around every so often, that made the title all that more important. When the WWE title was defended on a pay-per-view, you knew it was a must-watch show. Kevin Owens beating Brock Lesnar. Time will tell if Owens will be that guy or not, but if he continues to beat top names in WWE and people take him seriously, he very well could be a good candidate to be the one to finally end Brock Lesnar's streak that he's got going on for himself right now. All right, got this question here from CPW1978. Aaron, do you think the Kevin Owens Samoa Joe feud will bleed well onto the main roster? It's definitely a possibility, but I think what WWE wants to do right now is push Samoa Joe as the top guy in NXT. Kevin Owens is obviously making that transition to the main roster, but I think part of the reason Samoa Joe got the position in WWE is because of the fact that Sami Zayn got hurt and Hideo Itami got hurt, and they need a big star there in NXT right now, and Samoa Joe just happened to be a free agent. Right place, right time. Things worked out for Samoa Joe to get that deal to come into WWE and NXT. But I could definitely see it happening down the line if both guys remain with the company and are continued to be pushed strongly. I could very well see Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe having matches on pay-per-view in WWE. Definitely a possibility. All right, this one comes from Gotham Coach. Hey Aaron, a Texas death match. How does that work? And why do you think WWE doesn't add many stipulations to Brock's matches? Is it because he doesn't know when to control or stop? Because from coming back, he has only faced Cena in an Extreme Rules match in Triple H. Well, the thing about Brock Lesnar is he appears so rarely that when he does show up, it's a big deal. You don't need to add a stipulation to a Brock Lesnar match because Brock Lesnar appearing is special enough as it is. Now, when it comes to a Texas death match for WrestleMania, I think it's just a marketing gimmick. WrestleMania in Texas, it makes sense to market the match for the Texas audience and the Texas fans. Texas death match, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's a Texan himself. And that would be his terms because Austin needs an advantage in the match. Brock Lesnar is this unstoppable monster, and Steve Austin is coming back, if he does come back, his first match in over a decade. So one would think that the Stone Cold Steve Austin character would want to have the most violent match possible, whatever it takes to be able to have a level playing field with Brock Lesnar. Texas Death Match sounds like a great idea to me because they can also work around Steve Austin's limitations. By doing a death match, it can be more of a brawl and not the type of match where Lesnar's just suplexing Austin around, which, you know, a lot of people fear that would not be good for Austin's health. By doing a Texas Death Match, they can brawl in the crowd, they can use chairs, they can use weapons, and they can work around Austin's limitations. So I totally understand the idea behind doing a Texas Death Match at WrestleMania for various reasons. All right, got this one here from Ace McSpade. Hi, Aaron. What were your thoughts about Eva Marie going to NXT? Personally, I hate it. She stinks. Well, I think it's better than her being on WWE television. If she needs work in the ring, NXT is the place for her to be. But so far, the fans in NXT are not reacting positively towards her. And maybe that'll change. If she continues to improve in the ring, maybe she'll be able to win over those fans. It may just be a situation where Eva Marie is best off doing the modeling and not getting in the ring and being part of Total Divas, and that is what she excels at. That might very well end up being the case, but clearly WWE wants to try and get her to become a better performer in the ring because they see her as a major superstar. If she can get really good in the ring, she could be one of their top WWE Diva superstars and perhaps one of the biggest Diva superstars in the past decade. All right, this one comes from PunJ93 UK. Hey Aaron, if Austin versus Lesnar in a Texas Death Match does indeed happen at WrestleMania 32, does that match have to go on last? Seems like an awesome way to end the biggest WrestleMania ever, and the crowd heat would be awesome. What do you think? Well, regardless of who Steve Austin's opponent would be, if Steve Austin is going to wrestle at WrestleMania 32, 100% he should absolutely be in the main event. To me, Steve Austin would be the main drawing card for WrestleMania 32. He would be the guy that would perhaps allow WWE to break the record and have over 100,000 people in attendance for WrestleMania. Steve Austin would be the guy to get that done. He's arguably the biggest superstar in WWE history, and if I was Steve Austin, I would settle for nothing less than the main event. Austin going on before The Rock or Austin going on before Cena, that would be a mistake. Austin should be the main event in Texas at WrestleMania 32 in his comeback match. Absolutely 100%. All right, this one comes from Double EE. Hi, Aaron. This is Scott from New York. First question since Talk Wrestling episode 50. What do you think about the new prank show that will air on the network? I believe you're talking about the show Swerved, and I do not have high hopes for it. I do not have any intentions on watching it. I suppose I'll watch the first episode, maybe 2 episodes for journalistic purposes, but not looking forward to that show at all. Based on what I've seen, it looks like a poor man's reality show, a poor man's, whatever that show is with Ashton Kutcher. I forgot what it was called. But it reminds me of one of those types of shows. And I find it funny because a show called Swerve reminds me of Vince Russo, and Vince Russo has nothing to do with it. And I hate to say it, but I think if Vince Russo himself was actually part of that show, it would be more entertaining than what it most likely will end up being. I don't think it's going to be good at all. It looks so goofy and over the top and just nothing unique about it. It's the kind of concept that's been done many times before, except it just involves WWE talent, whatever. All right, this one comes from Tyler Mars 69810. Do you consider Kofi Kingston a likely contender to win the Money in the Bank briefcase? It seems to me WWE has a swerve in the works considering Kofi's random inclusion in the match and matchup against Brock Lesnar at the July 4th event in Japan. Well, I don't think there's any kind of swerve as it comes to Kofi Kingston being in the Money in the Bank match or facing Brock Lesnar, I think it's very straightforward. Kofi Kingston is in the Money in the Bank match, so he could take crazy bumps and make the match memorable, or help make it more memorable than it would be without him involved. Just a guy that can do the amazing ladder match spots. That's why Kofi Kingston's in it. Don't see him winning. Don't see any kind of swerve going on with that. I think it's very straightforward. And as far as the match with Brock Lesnar goes, pretty much the same thing. Kofi Kingston is in that match to make Brock Lesnar look good. And my guess is it's going to be a massacre. Brock Lesnar is going to destroy the hated heel from New Day, Kofi Kingston, and he'll probably beat up the other New Day members as well. And Kofi will just take a tremendous amount of punishment for Brock Lesnar, and he'll make Brock Lesnar look like $1 million. I mean, that's what I'm expecting to happen. And I like the pictures on the internet. R.I.P. Kofi Kingston, his birthday to July 4th, 2015. I mean, that's pretty funny. It's not going to be a good night for Kofi Kingston, but that's part of the whole interest in that match, is to just see how badly Kofi Kingston gets destroyed. He's going to be taken to Suplex City, and we all know that, and that's what's going to make it fun to watch, because you're going to just watch a massacre. All right, got this one from Derek J. 1993. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Do you think NXT will ever end up at the Manhattan Center? I think it would be a good idea. Please answer in video. I agree with you. I think that more likely they would do it in the Hammerstein Ballroom because they can hold more people. And WWE has not gone back there since the ECW special on Sci-Fi that did not go over well because you had Batista and Big Show in the main event. With NXT, I think it's a safe bet that the crowd will be hot and they won't rebel or turn on people unless you have Eva Marie on the show. But it'll be your typical hardcore fans. It would make for a tremendous atmosphere, no doubt about it. And as long as you put the guys that the fans respect on the show, it would be a really fun show to watch. And really, I think that's the only way we'll see a WWE type event in Hammerstein Ballroom or Manhattan Center again, is if it's NXT. Because if it's SmackDown or Raw, the fans will boo the guys that WWE doesn't want booed on television. All right, last question here from L. Cooper 87. Yo, it's Crime Time. Why did Crime Time never get their tag team title shot that they earned? It was a stupid push for nothing. Well, I don't recall exactly which title shot you're referring to, but with Crime Time, I think part of it, why they didn't really excel in WWE, is because they came in at a bad time. They came in just as the Ruthless Aggression era was ending and WWE was starting to tone down the product and go in the PG direction. Crime Time, not a PG gimmick and not really a politically correct gimmick, but they were entertaining. What happened is they came in 2007 and then there was some sort of incident and they ended up being released for a brief period of time. I think it was about 6 months. And by the time they came back, WWE was already going in that PG direction and Crime Time just didn't fit in that WWE environment, and it didn't work out for them. If they had come along in like 2003, 2004, I think Crime Time would have had a longer run in WWE and perhaps would have been tag champs for a period of time. I mean, I definitely feel that they were not in the right era when they came in. All right, so that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Once again, check out ProWrestlingTees.com. Search NoDQ if you want to support the videos. You can grab an official NoDQ&A video t-shirt. Link is in the description box. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest regarding Money in the Bank, and I will see you guys next time for more.